And, well, I realized that the water department had to be everywhere all at once, but it seems as though they did a pretty good job of that.
Well, Ken, it's first I want to say hello to everyone, and I heard your rule, and we're hoping that there's plenty of callers out there, and if some in are interspersed that have called before, that I'm not thinking twice about it, but I know that I have heard, as you said, an awful lot of people want to get through, and especially since we want to do a you asked for it and really get some stuff cooking here. If you've got some things we can help with, and today may be a perfect day for it because I'm sure this storm left an awful lot in the aftermath. Now, just here's what I know of, just to kind of put it in its perspective. We had almost 3 inches of rain in less than 1 hour time frame, which meant that we were literally subject to flash flood type of conditions. And I think the city withstood it pretty well. The low-lying areas got hit very, very hard. We still have some streets that are closed because of damage done to the storm drain system that we're going to have to repair because the volume of water and the force of the water was so powerful. There were manhole covers blown off their mounts. Those manhole covers are 100 pounds, blown off their mounts, thrown several feet in the air.
It's the effects of a 100-year storm.
Exactly. And the intersections that we have that are closed are Dartmouth Street and Hickory Street, Pontiac Street and Pine Grove Street, Hillman Street to Logan Street, Wamsutta Street from Acushnet Avenue to North Front Street, Brownell Avenue from Hawthorne Street to Kempton Street. The crews are out there. We're working very hard to get the roads repaired, and we will. But please, if you can avoid these areas, please do so. The other thing is that we have a major water main that we're trying to replace at the corner of Kempton and Route 6, which is a major Kempton, Rockdale, and Route 6, which is a major intersection in the city.
Right.
And the work was to start today. They started for a few minutes, and then obviously the rain drove them away from the area. We are going to begin that work again, hopefully tomorrow. That's going to be 1 week's worth of inconvenience. I want to tell people that we're building, we're doing a lot of infrastructure work. The gas company's doing a lot of infrastructure work. We've had issues with the gas company who've been pushing very hard to make sure they keep the roads in decent shape. But much of this work will be completed in the very near future. The roads will be repaved. Hopefully we're not going to have to go back in the roads again now for a decade or more. And the infrastructure is very important for the city. But I know when you combine it with a storm like we had today, you start banging your head against the wall. I was all around the city after the storm. Route 18 and Acushnet Avenue had a great deal of water on it. It was closed. St. Luke's had 7 feet of water in different chambers within their basement. We had a tremendous amount of water throughout the city, and in the low-lying areas, it looked like, in all honesty, the scenes that you saw from this spring in Iowa, where complete neighborhoods had 2 or 3 feet of water.
Right.
Within an hour or so, it all receded, thank God, and things became, now the cleanup occurs, but things hopefully will be back to normal.
Well, this is, again, this is. I can't recall rain falling at that level. Doing this kind of damage in just an hour's time.
As you said, I was told this is This is a calculation for a 100-year storm. This happens once every 100 years. Now, climate seems to be changing a little bit. I don't want another one anytime soon. But in all the time that I've been in New Bedford, which is 30 years now, I've never seen rain like that before. Right. William Street was a river, literally a river. In fact, I said to someone, if the cars start floating down the street, I'm not going to be surprised. That I can't believe the force of the water coming down.
Well, you're the mayor. You're supposed to paint a rosy picture of us. Now, how about ferry service? We get ferry service in the time that we're able to do it.
I remarked I was talking to Jack Peterson when he asked me what was going on, and I said if we get another one like these, I'm going to ask for all volunteers to help me build an ark. This is ridiculous.
All kidding aside, do we have any idea how many? Obviously, it's awfully early, but there's probably a lot of homes that have personal damage, basement damage, finished basements.
We heard from at least 25 calls from individuals indicating that they needed help with either pumps or specific damage, drain damage. We had no wind. That rain was more severe than a hurricane, rain. And incidentally, I should just mention that on August 19th, I've got all the department heads to come together to go through the scenario of a hurricane or a very bad windstorm, very bad rainstorm. We started on the rainstorm, obviously, today in real time, in real life. But I want to make sure everybody's ready to go in the event that we have one of these severe summer storms. We do it regularly for winter storms, but I want to make sure we're all set for a summer storm.
I have a number of questions that were already proactively sent out in the event that they weren't able to get through. One was emailed to me from Ray. Where are we at, Mayor Lang, in something that you talked about in your first term, which was the master plan?
The master plan is, I think, moving ahead very, very well. We have many of the components of the master plan that are either completed or almost completed. The harbor plan is in final stages right now. There's public input. We should have a draft of the harbor plan within the next several months. Hicks Logan is in final draft form. A downtown business plan has been completed. Yeah.
Hicks Logan.
Yes.
We know, like Steve Wynn, for example, has options on that. Is it? Can you go forward with the master plan with so many different scenarios, or will people have to adjust to your master plan? How does that work?
That's a great question, but it's a combination. We have actually seen a plan for Hicks Logan that you put over another piece of transparent plastic, and it shows different scenarios regarding different types of uses. But the fact of the matter is that we're going to work very closely to protect our areas and have developers conform to what we're trying to do as an overall plan. But the specific buildings or how they may be configured and what use they may have, we're going to try and be very flexible so that we don't discourage any growth. But we're trying to do it through smart growth, which means we're not going to we're going to try and protect our neighborhood character. We're going to try and protect our citizens and their quality of life, obviously. And then last but not least, it's got to bring economic development. We just don't want, someone came in the city, and this is a kind of funny story, but he came in the city and I guess he saw a fairly well-known historic structure. And he was with one of the people showing him around. They said, gee, that'd be great. If we knock that down, we can build something great there. And when they came back, they told me that story, and I said, that's the whole point. If you want to come to New Bedford and develop, what you need to understand is the history, the architect, the culture of New Bedford, the historic importance of certain buildings and certain areas, and you just can't come in here and say, now we'll give you a great stucco stuckies. We want to make sure that things conform to what we're trying to do. But the hearings were held in all the wards about a year and a couple of months ago. They've got drafts in each ward, and now it's putting together the specifics regarding the parks, the mill inventory as part of the master plan, the Upper River planning, above Hicks Logan as part of the master plan, and then we're looking at appropriate sizes for lots. So I would think within a short period of time you'll start to see a draft of the entire work that's been done, but each component of the master plan is being worked on.
Okay.